new patent today. It was actually filed a couple years ago, but it is, to my understanding, it is entering one of the last steps of approval / being granted for this patent is, and today. So we're going to go over what this means and why it's not new news necessarily, but this is actually, I would say this is pretty big, and it actually has to do with SNP detection, single nucleotide polymorphisms. Now, if we look at the filings today, so we're going to go over that. Filings, we got 3 institutions selling, 2 of them selling out completely, one of them decreasing their position by 35%. That sounds scary, doesn't it? Please don't assume I'm bearish. Don't assume this is bearish until you've watched that part, because the quantity of shares being sold is laughable. Okay, and we're going to go over the exact amount pretty soon here. Along with the shorters data, we will go over this 15% of the flow, right? We're going to go over why that is important and why we cover that every day. We're getting very close to something that could justify this channel covering that every single day. All right. Earnings, right? They're taking a lot of risk, holding their short positions through earnings. All right, that's all I'll say right now. But we'll go more into detail there. There's a couple new tweets today, and this one right here is pretty important. We're going to read that and understand why traction has been gained and what that likely means for the price. Okay, it's not going to do much for the price, to be honest with you. Okay, when good news happens, we go down. When no news or bad news happens, we go up. Right, that's the price. But that is good fundamentally for the company, and that's what we're investing in. We're not investing in the short-term price, or at least I'm not. We're investing in the company and the synthesis that these guys will outperform other stocks and the market because of its fundamentals. Okay, now if we look at this is the Cancer Genomics Consortium. This is happening very soon, August 1st to 4th. It's coming right around the corner. It's coming. It's faster than you realize. August 4th is the earnings. That was the news yesterday. Okay, reiterating that, of course, there's nothing to say here, but in case you had if you've had your head in the sand for 5 days straight now, or at least 1 day straight, I guess I should say, there's the news, right? August 4th, it's earnings next Wednesday. We also have this. I want to talk about this again because earnings is getting so close, and we're gonna be repeating a lot of the same stuff for earnings and over the weekend, because these are the most important things that you need to know before earnings and why I'm so bullish. And this is all about my epistemology. I'm explaining my epistemology of bullish earnings and why I think that based on evidence pieces like this. This came out earlier this week. We also have this, which is a good point. We're going to read that very quickly. And then we have the CMS meeting that I have not actually heard anything about. We're also going to go over the technical analysis, the price action, and how my positions, my shares, and all of that. Okay, so starting off with the patents. You can pause it right now and read kind of what this means according to Nick here. And I'm not going to read all that because it's kind of monotonous, and it's in the sequencing realm. So I don't feel the best kind of giving you my take on that because I don't fully understand everything in that realm. However, I will give you the extrapolation here and why it's actually important and why it matters for us, right? So basically, the most important new thing enabled by this approach is if you suspect a single nucleotide polymorphism may exist, you can also check for that using this approach, and then so you can also do genome-wide large SV detection, yada yada. Plus, this is where it's important, right? This is where you actually need to pay attention. Stay with me. I know your brain's hurting, my brain's hurting as well. Limited detection of SNPs. All right, very short mutations at the same time. Not all of them, but some of them. Right, so if we were able to do SNP, single nucleotide polymorphisms, that is something that we currently don't do. We do large structural variants. If we were going to be able to do the SNPs as well with the Sapphire, that's going to increase. I mean, think of it this way, right? None of our competition can do that stuff as well with the karyotyping, the CMA. They don't do that stuff, right? This would be absolutely amazing if we could do this stuff. And why are they trying to put a patent out for this kind of stuff if they don't have a plan for adding that and maybe trying to develop that and commercially release it at some point down the line? I'm not saying this is going to come out tomorrow or this is nanonozzle, right? This is actually not nanonozzle. That's actually a good point. This is not gene editing, and this is not a nanonozzle to my understanding. It is SNP detection. That's what we're looking at. And that would be, just think of it this way. It will help, right? Too long didn't read. More ways to label DNA can now probe very specific SNPs. All right, ape language to that. This patent gives us, this is one of the last final processes in getting this patent approved. If we were to get it approved, it would give us a way to actually be able to find certain SNPs, or just think of it this way, right? It's giving, this is, if we were going to do this, if we were going to commercially release this, we'd be able to find out more stuff than previously, right? Okay, that's as simple as I can make it, I think. All right, so that's pretty much it. Yes, it's good. It's not huge. It was originally filed a long time ago. And it's just now hopefully getting approved sometime soon, right? This is one of the final steps to approval, to my understanding. It's good news. It's not great news. I don't expect the stock to react. The stock didn't really react today. But these are the sort of things that get you excited for innovation in the Sapphire. We already have a quote by the CEO confirming that the applications of the Sapphire are not even all developed yet. Some of them are still in development and on the come up, right? And yet to be commercially released. For example, nanopores added to the nanochannels, aka nano nozzle, right? And also, this one right here, the SNP detection as well. Maybe that's going to start to come in because of this kind of because of what this patent is going to be, what this patent is talking about. That'd be amazing. Okay, now talking about the filings today. It's very simple. If we look at the filings, look at this, all right? You're looking at 200 shares, 300 shares by these guys. It looks so scary. It's a red bar here. It's like, no, they're selling out. This guy, this guy has 10 shares. 10. I mean, you might as well not even waste your time writing this up as a filing. That's just, I mean, we're just wasting time. We're just wasting everybody's time at this point. So my point is, and you may wonder, well, Brandon, what the hell are you doing covering it, my friend? I'm covering it because a lot of people are going to look at this chart, freak out about it. Because we have the premium data, we can look in there and see that it's actually like 0 shares being sold. I mean, you're looking at 310 shares being sold from those two closed positions, right? So it's a lot better than what it sounds, right? It's not as bad as it sounds whatsoever. Short interest data. I'm going to keep it nice, short, clean, and simple for you, right? Basically, the reason why we cover the short interest data every day is because this 15% of the flow sold short, this is going to have a huge impact on what the price is going to do if we were to get the bull case scenario in earnings, which is happening next week. And I'm going to have a video talking about this over the weekend, okay? Probably. This is huge. If we're going to get a beat, this is going to play to the bull's advantage and to the bear's demise, inevitable demise. That we've all, I mean, it is an inevitable demise for the bears if they're going to continue shorting because they just don't have a chance long term, in my opinion. So that's what I'll keep it with you for today. It's slightly down on the day, right? Nothing really to talk about there. Also, look at this. This is one of the 2 tweets today. 2 of the posters featured at CGC Annual, right? Whatever, yada yada. They're both in the top 10 and will be available for on-demand presentations, yada yada. They're already doing well. They're already getting recognition. People are already seeing this, and I want to use this to highlight the point that this is going to be a huge event. It's highly anticipated, very scholarly, high up, credentialed, important potential customers and people in the actual space of sequencing, cytogenetics, greater than 500 base pair detection, karyotyping, CMA. The people that are in here have experience and knowledge about all this stuff. Once they start seeing the Sapphire and the posters and the literature, the data, the publications, the proof that we are better than everything else in the world at what we do, this is going to help sales. And I'm very excited for this event, right? So that's happening August 1st to 4th. Cancer Genomics Consortium. August 4th is also going to be the earnings day. That's going to happen after hours, right? You can see 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 Central. You're looking at 30 minutes after the market close. That's when the webcast starts, and then the actual financial results, the actual article, it should be coming out right as the market close as last time. At least that's what I'm assuming, right? Because this is the exact same thing it looked like last time, yet they went ahead and sent the actual article out right after hours. So that's what I'm assuming this time as well. We're going to be covering that, streaming that. Okay, you don't have to worry about it, right? You just tune into the stream. We will be covering everything you need to know there. All right, now this, in summary, okay, Brennan was talking to the CEO. The CEO told him that there are too many places around the world using Sapphire to constantly announce stuff. That was an answer to a question of why doesn't Bionano PR all of our sales or a lot of our sales? That is why. If that doesn't make you feel confident about earnings, I don't know what will, my friends. Now, if we look right here, a lot of people do not understand that both Illumina and PatBio are not FDA approved, but they get reimbursements. There are ways to diagnostic use without having FDA approval. If we read this is a beautiful post right here. I'm glad I found this, okay? I hate to have to post this, right? Yada yada. Despite the research-only tag required by the FDA, medical devices such as Sapphire can be used for diagnosis. Currently, we're research-only, right? The company's own Twitter page says we're not for diagnostic use. Guess what? We can be used for diagnosis, and diagnostics in that realm, and receive insurance reimbursement via the laboratory-developed test route. And the practice labs and others are using Sapphire for client diagnosis and being reimbursed. We are going to be in the diagnostic realm and doing prognosis and diagnosis for several diseases, in several institutions, hospitals, clinics, well, probably not hospitals, but clinics. We're going to be in them doing diagnostics. And this is going to be huge because no one's counting on this, right? Because if we look at the Twitter, right, as I was saying, right, we're not for use in diagnostic procedures in the company's own words. But guess what? We actually are. So that's more sales. That's great. If we look at the CMS thing, right, guess what the title of this thing is? Clinical Diagnostic Laboratory Test. Why do you think we're in here? because we're getting in the diagnostic realm, and it's only going to increase over time. We're only going to see a compounding effect in the amount of diagnostic procedures that were used in and the amount of sales and units sold of the Sapphire. Down about 1.5% of the day, not doing too well in the after hours. We had a little bit of a cooling off day, right? We got rejected perfectly at the Fibonacci level, at the 61.8% golden Fibonacci ratio level there, which is interesting. And we also closed below the descending level of resistance. I was talking about we needed to close at 613 or above it preferably. That didn't happen. We're back in again. We're back in the little chart formation here. I don't want to call this a symmetrical triangle because it changes it changes a while. We are still definitely in this descending wedge here, which actually is a bullish chart pattern. The price R is way up here at 727. Very likely, in my opinion, to hit that after earnings, or at least somewhat likely, I would say. I would say it's likely to hit that after earnings or on the earnings news, in my opinion. I think earnings is going to be good. We'll see. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to keep the technical analysis very short today because for me, it doesn't really matter what the charts are saying. At the end of the day, a couple days before an earnings release, it doesn't matter what the bullish or bearish territory is. It doesn't matter where we're in, what's going on with the price action and the lines on the chart. No, if earnings is good, we would go up. If earnings is bad, we would go down. Simple as it gets. So I'm going to leave you with that for the technical analysis today. We'll get back to normal technical analysis after earnings, I think. Maybe we'll do a little bit of TI on the weekends, though. Anyways, with that being said, there's the portfolio, 100% BNGO, baby. Seriously, literally, I'm not joking. And with that being said, thank you all so much for not financial advice. I'll see y'all in the next one.